Idly ho, neighbors. We're back. Getting a little pressure from some of the boys on the forums. They want to see a little more. They either really enjoy my videos or they just want to see the damn tank. I'll take it as a little bit of both, hopefully. Well, at least 80-20 tank me. 50-50, I'd be delighted. If it was any more than that towards me, I would be so flattered. Yeah, let me see here. Woo! I felt the little drip of sweat fall down into the elbow there. It's hot as all heck down here in Atlanta, and do not say the H word. That hot Atlanta. It's whatever. It's hot, but I'm good. I'm allergic to the cold, so we moved down here for a reason. But we left you off here. If you want to see this thing making its chooching noises and letting the pixies fly, hey, AVE. I'm stealing some of your words because they're funny. You want to see that? Go back to part 3. This is part 4, and we're going to get started on the Upper hull. We're going to get ready to put the aluminum baseball cap on this little fanboy of a tank. And, yeah, this should be fun. I'm going to load up a paint gun. We got some steps here. They want us to pre-paint the window with some XF62 NATO green. And it's, you know, installing a bunch of magnets for that cool battery compartment door, turret ring, rotation gearbox, some more magnets, some stowage. I don't always glue all the stowage on. I, you know, paint it afterwards, glue it on, you know, so you can get all the nice little wooden handles and metal accents. And my Type 10 Japanese tank, those guys actually painted all the stowage the same color as whatever camo pattern was underneath the stowage, which was weird and different, interesting, annoying, because I kind of like to see the stowage pop a little more. I know you want to have a little pop. And the Japanese, they're very reserved people with a lot of things, including their tank design. It's a beautiful tank, finely engineered, but they're a little boring. So, I mean, sometimes doing stowage, I mean, I'm nervous. I got this little Rubbermaid jug here. This is from Special Ops Models on eBay. And, I mean, they make some really sweet stuff. This is not weathered whatsoever. I mean, this thing's going to look like, I don't know what, but I'm going to put it on the Japanese tank because even the Japanese guys, they may need a sip of water or sake or something while on training maneuvers, because that's really all they do in Japan, just preparing for Godzilla to attack. But when Godzilla does attack, I think this will be full of sake for sure. That's what I'd put in it if I was any sane Japanese tanker. So we got a little, you know, tape on, aluminum tape to clear bits where the lights are going to insert up into there. So, I mean, I'm not going to glue every single thing on here. And that was the test your tank part. We already previewed that, and then tape wiring into the upper hull and get that guy on, and mud flaps. I mean, you know, this shouldn't take forever. I only have an hour or two to really burn on this tonight. There's a cool recoil stuff, but I'll get done what I can get done tonight. You know, firstly, we do have some XF62. This is a brand new jar. So just my tip, Andy's Hobby Headquarters says you crack these guys open, and they have a little lip, and you basically take your XF20 or your homebrew thinner, whatever you prefer to use. Some guys use water, some guys use a mixture of rubbing alcohol and water and Tamiya paint retard. Yeah, that's it. You can make your own with some rubbing alcohol and some of this Tamiya paint retarder and some amount of distilled water, and it's supposed to work identically, if not better, who knows, as the Tamiya stuff. So I'm going to thin this guy down. Okay, she's got about the right amount in there, and we just screw her on and shake her up. Now, important tip, and I don't know if Andy does this on the Hobby Headquarters channel. Andy, if you're watching by any means, I love the way you do things. I'm doing it your way. I added a step, and this is a dark cap, so I'm using a silver Sharpie marker. If it was a light cap, I use a black Sharpie, and I just write T on the top for thinned. This way I know I've already thinned it, so if I use half the jar and then I open it one day and this letter wasn't on here, I might be able to tell if I thinned it, but then, God forbid, you know, you thin it too much and then it just starts spritzing out of the airbrush like the teenager on his first date. Yeah, you don't want that. So, just thinned enough. I think that's most of my intro blabbering done. I'm gonna get the building. I'll be back. Oh, she's a material girl in a material world. Really, all she wants is magnets. Dudes, these things are some super, like, rare earth. Like, if you drop... Oh, there it goes. Things will jump. I mean, these magnets... This guy she just wants to go home. You just give her, like... just a little bit of a nudge. Oh, now you're not doing it? Are you flipped upside down? Yeah? You were, like, climbing up the staircase. Oh, son of it. Now you won't do it. Either way, I just had a little incident. It was funny. I can't recreate it. I feel like an idiot now, but I won't cut this out because I'm an honest screw up. Thanks. So, kind of important step here. Since you got our little window in here for the thing that does something. It's not the Stargaze. I think it's supposed to, in real life, would fold up and be kind of like a front hull armor. Yeah, it's got little hinges there. Swing up little armor plate with a window for it to protect the driver, so you could, you know, open the convertible roof and get a breeze there. This was in Vietnam, so that would be a hot, moist breeze. For the people that hate the word moist, I have some family members that are 100% on board with you on that. But either way, it says to paint the inside of this window green because it's to simulate it laying down on an OD green painted upper deck. So I just loaded up the Crapwada. I mean, the Master Airbrush. This is my cheapie. I just use this for, like, you know, spray and pray painting attacks. And when you thin the paint, like Andy tells you to thin the paint, even the most garbage airbrush from Amazon, and you get very, very nice, smooth results. That looks good. Nice and tidy, unlike most of the things I do here. So I painted that, and then I'm going to bolt on some more ooh, the ball bearings that go in one at a time in a whole new style I haven't seen before, so not like the other modern tanks. Oh, this should be a learning experience. I don't know if they've used this method before. And if you're watching this full screen, you can see the little thing. I'm sure I'm going to do an inter-video portion of this where I drop things and yell and complain. I'll be back. Alright, so I laid this first turret ring underneath the hull, lined up the little notches as they show in the instructions. When you're cutting these things off the sprue, they look like they'd be pretty stout. I started with an outer end and I was pushing up on it to make sure I got a good flat cut. I just about cracked that thing completely in half. It didn't come completely apart, so I put it in. It's going to be captive with the bearings and the other ring. It should be fine. If it ever, like, completely cracks and jams up, I'll know my turret stopped working. But yeah, it's very, very delicate with cutting these little ball bearing. You got to cut 4 of these out and circle the ring. This is a weird thing. I don't know why. Design constraints from Tamiya. I'm sure it'll work fine. But yeah, be careful, guys. Be extra careful. Okay, actually, a little bit of a pro tip here for you. So you got the little bag of round balls. You got your sack of balls. Okay, I said it. You got your sack of balls. What you want to do is you want to grease up your plastic satchel of spherical bits of metal. And these could be a little, I like the word fiddly, but whatever, pain in the butt, whatever. I just dab of the grease, throw it in the bag, smush them around. Yes, massage the grease into your tiny balls. And then if you squeeze them out of their sack one at a time, right to where they need to go, it allows you very fine control, and even a complete klutz like me, who's constantly dropping things and crying for magnetic pants. I was actually thinking of Googling magnetic work apron or shop apron at some point before I started tonight, but I didn't want to get off on one of those rabbit holes, and then I look up and it's 8:30 at night, and I can't do a video. And then one of the guys, you know, on the forums, or I have subscribers now, I have like, I don't know, 9, something like that. So I'm a proud papa. Oh, see, but even when they fall out, as long as they're pre-greased, they're not going to roll away on you as easily. So you could get this done, and I still grit my teeth, so I talk a little, I can't help it. My jaw, like, my cheeks lock up like I just ate my first like sour gumball. What are they? What were those things? Crybabies. That's it, Crybabies. Good candy. Back in the day. Now I don't have diabetes. If I did have diabetes, though, my recent medical appointment to get custom fit orthotics for my feet, because I got bad feet, if I did have diabetes, and I'm glad I don't, I'm sorry for anyone who does, they would have paid for my orthotics. And I'm like, can't people without diseases or, issues get their, feet taken care of by insurance? I don't know. Whatever. Another little complaint there. But either way, no one wants to watch me squeeze my little balls out of my sack here for the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that ring bolted in, and we'll flip to the next page, and I'll pick back up for that. All right, guys, all the balls are in. That went surprisingly fast. If you follow my grease your balls in the sack technique, always grease your balls. They give you an extra ball, so your sack will be left with one lone solitary ball because they expect you to lose them, and with this technique, I've yet to lose a ball. It rotates smooth enough. There's a little resistance here. It's a little... I mean, it goes okay. It's not the smoothest thing I've ever felt as far as rotation. I mean, it pales in comparison to the newer Abrams, well, not the older Abrams turret ring system as well. I think the 2A6 uses that. I know my Type 10 Japanese tank used that. Those things, I mean, you could freewheel that turret once the gearbox isn't attached, and it'll just keep spinning and spinning and spinning. This guy's definitely... I mean, it's smooth. It's not grindy, per se. But, yeah, it is a little grindy. It's not perfectly smooth. I mean, maybe sand down those little fine bits that I told you not to break. That might be part of the technique there. But when you're done, I think you're supposed to have these little two notches lined up here in the front, as close as possible. So that's that. Now we're going to build the turret rotation gearbox. Who cares about that, right? I'll be back. Alright. Welcome back. We've got... Uh-oh. My screen isn't updating. I'm not seeing any live motion here. Yeah. No, it says it's recording. Okay, my Android app froze. I'm going to just trust it. We got some more nuts captured here. Guys, nuts are the enemy. Wiring harnesses for the taillights, those are in. All the lights are pre-labeled with letters and other things like MG, and one of them said OP. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means I don't even want to put any conjecture into that. Maybe it means main gun. Maybe it's the searchlight. I don't know. It'll say in the instructions, turret rotation motor's in. That's Tamiya standard fare. So standard, in fact, they needed a longer wire for it. They just made an extension harness. They must have like 500 of these little 500 million of these little guys. I don't know how many sitting around the warehouse just waiting for the next kit to come out. But that's that. The next stuff is engine hatch related, no glue, use magnets, painting some things. All right, well, yeah, I got time. We can get through at least the rest of page 20 here, maybe a little more. But yeah, well, we shall continue. All right. Okay, so I skip some steps for very good reason. So you have these little headlight, taillight, whatever, they're taillight assemblies, and they're fully clear. So they want you to do is mask the inside. Then they want you to mask off the tiny little slit for the low-vis lens, and then the top little oval for the brake light. They want you to mask those individually. Oh, it gets better. Then paint the entire thing, these whole little guys, you paint these with gloss silver, or I only have chrome silver. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Paint them with that, and then, once that's dry, then paint them with olive drab. Then once that's dry, somehow get your masking off, which is microscopically sized, and then they want you to put on, the clear red and the clear orange and the smoke or whatever it is onto there, and then glue them into here, and that basically captures that little captures a little LED on the outside because there's a bracket inside that we've glued in that captures it on the inside. And, oh, come on. You're killing me. Like, it's a compact little unit. I guess this is the easiest way they came up with to make the, the taillights look good. But we're going to wait. My dumbass didn't buy, A word, I don't know, it's only 3 letters. Didn't buy any liquid masking lately, so I don't have any. There, and yeah, there's your magnetic engine hatch, and that will get you access to your DMD. It's not too hard to open up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a good notch anywhere where you can, like, really, whatever. Hopefully you're not going in here all that often. We're going to continue. Then a lot of the other stuff to glue on is stowage, shovels. I'm going to put a couple of these little bits on. There's a couple tow hooks, engine exhaust. I'll do all those, and I'll be back, and we'll be doing some more stuff. And we've got the driver's hatch, and, oh God, building the upper hull, this is model making now. Now we're into modeling. The lower chassis, I was in my element. Mechanics, electronics, that stuff's easy. Even for Edward Sausage Fingers, as one of my commenters has lovingly nicknamed me. I'll go by that, it's fine. I've been called worse things. You can call me anything, just not late for dinner. That was my dad's joke. I get it. I get it now. I get it. Don't want to miss dinner. Okay, haha, funny dad. I'm gonna glue on a couple bits. I'm gonna get some progress. We're pushing 8:30 at night, so I still need time to do the the YouTube thing and get this out to you guys. Maybe eat dinner. Eating dinner might be a good idea. Probably. Maybe I'll lose weight building this tank. Who knows? Could have some upsides. All right, a little more to come. Ah, son of a crazy glue! Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Gluing some little metal plates on this side piece, and then they will then hold this guy onto the side of the hull. Unless I don't let the glue dry fully, then they'll hold it on there basically for good until I steal my wife's nail polish remover and bring it down here to undo one of my whoopsies. Don't ask me how I have that story to tell, but I'll tell you, it was some scented nail polish remover. I think it was like a lavender or something. My Japanese Type 10's inner turret bits, they have never smelled so good, I'll tell you. I don't think the Japanese have ever scented their tanks, but I just figured why not be an innovator. So basically, this thing wants me to basically permanently install the driver's hatch with the glass in it and all that. And oh, wait a second. Well, if I can paint this and not attach it to the lower hull, I guess I could do that. And then it has more lights and the things and they're not all that big with the foil tape anymore. So they want a lot of this light stuff done. And these lights, again, guys, I'm not doing them until I'm near the end. And then on top of that, there's little bars and things that go over the lights, and it just makes it a nightmare to paint this sucker. So yeah, I'm probably gonna leave off the driver's hat. Yeah, I want to get a nice paint job on everything. Sometimes we got to leave little parts out until we paint the whole thing, and then kind of stuff it all back together. That's just the way the cookie crumbles with building these tanks. So I'm sorry you can't get 100% instant gratification from that. Aside from don't glue your fingers to your parts, we're moving on to passing all the wiring through and clipping in the upper hull and all that good stuff. Are there some screws I missed in the previous step? I do this. I flip back and forth constantly. Yeah, no, those guys. Yet in this picture, there's a couple screws in those little guys already. Oh, that's weird. Those probably go Yeah, see, no. They go in over here. See, to me, it's slipping a little with the whole the instructions on this one. There's just a couple of... And who puts this stupid warning sticker on the side of your tank? No one's going to do that. Alright. I'm going to, like, build this as much as I can to get it, like, a working driving tank for the most part. But, this takes time, guys. You know this. This takes a long time. All the little fiddly bits, the little lights and the little hatches and the little, you know, pieces of glass and all that other stuff. You know, I mean, the outside of this, I can mask it so it'll stay shiny. That's easy. But, like, those lights, forget it. It's just a nightmare. I think that's all she wrote for tonight, guys. Just as a little bonus, just so you can see how small this tank is. This is a poor comparison. I'm sorry. But here is a 1/12 scale Tamiya Humvee. This thing fits inside of it. Now, the Humvee doesn't look as bad next to, let's say, the Abrams or something. It's still clearly out of scale, but that sucker's pretty small. I mean, we could compare it to a 1/14 scale. Here's a fun one. Oh, mama, she's a big girl. Here's my old King hauler I built quite a few years ago. This is a full option truck as well, with all the bells and whistles, billet aluminum wheels and all that. I'm getting aside. I mean, here you go. Here's an 18-wheeler next to the M551. I mean, this thing doesn't even make it up to the back wheels. She's a little guy, and you know, it's cool. It's cool that Tamiya is building up a little tiny tank. It's I'd say it's more comparable in size to the maybe to the M4 M51 Sheridan kit. Probably comparable in size to that. But either way, if my videos are a little less entertaining, it's because I'm on a diet, guys, and I'm drinking, you know, sugar-free lemonade and stuff like that instead of the normal, you know, the beverage of the gods that the monks gave us many years ago. Just try to cut it down Monday through Thursday at least. You know, lose a few pounds off the old lower hull here. You know, getting to the point where I'm going to fit one of those stereotypes. But either way, have a nice night, guys. By the way, just for the Facebook groups, I use Tamiya extra thin cement for all of the polystyrene to polystyrene contact. I like it. Works fine. But guys, if some guy on Facebook freaks out everybody in the universe and says, "I hate Tamiya extra thin, it's terrible," even though he's holding, or he has this in his pictures, the extra thin quick setting, which has some quirks, don't murder the guy online with social insults and anger. Just be nice. He doesn't like the Tamiya glue. Big deal. You know, not all of us are on the Tamiya teat of everything they make is perfect and amazing and the best. I mean, I have products from all over the place. I've got Vallejo, I've got Model Air, I've got whatever, more Vallejo. I have a lot of. Oh yeah, looks like, oh, I got AK. I mean, yeah, you know, everybody has things they're good at, and some are equal to others, and some are better than others, and this is just what I use. It's what the hobby shop carries. It's easy to get for me in the United States of America. You know, there's some Mr. Hobby brands that are out there. Those are cool. They look almost identical. Probably the same factory. Just like everything these days, guys. No matter what you buy, half the chances are that the internal bits are made at the same large building in another country. But that's that for now. I'll see you on the next episode. Weekdays are hard, guys, so I'll do my best to get an hour in here and there. But like I said, you know, you got to get home. There's dinner, there's dogs, there's cats, there's wives, there's chores, there's recycling and the garbage, and there's a dead bug. Please, it's gonna kill me. It's not moving, but no, it's a crisis. Got to deal with all those things. So I'll be back. But I mean, she's pretty sweet. Pre-labeled harnesses. I mean, that's nice. It's not like it was a life-changing thing, but it's nice to have some things, and others I'm just kind of, oh, Tamiya, you found a new way to frustrate me. Way to go. I thought we were out of those. But take it easy, gents.